All right, today we're tackling a question that, let's be honest, is on a lot of our minds. In an economy like this, what's even the point of trying to save money? It's a question that really gets to the core of so much financial anxiety, so let's get into it.
And this is it, right? This is the question that just keeps popping up. After years of budgeting, of cutting back, of doing everything you were told was the right thing, you look at your bank account and you just have to wonder, is any of this actually working? So to really get why this feeling is everywhere, let's dive into a real story. And honestly, it's a pretty painful one. It all starts with a woman out in Denver.
Now, this woman, she played by all the rules. For 4 straight years. We're talking automatic transfers, skipping vacations, the whole deal. And she actually did it. She built up $16,000 in savings. I mean, that's a huge deal, right? That takes serious discipline.
And then life happens, as it always does. Her car's transmission just gives out. Boom. $4,200 gone. Just poof. The classic, textbook, unexpected expense. But wait. It gets worse. It wasn't just a one-and-done thing. Right after that, her landlord hits her with the rent increase, $300 a month. You do the math. That's another $3,600 a year in new, unavoidable costs.
So just like that, in a single week, almost $8,000, half of everything she saved was just gone, wiped out. 2 full years of skipping things, of being disciplined, just erased. It's devastating.
Okay, so what in the world is going on here? Because this isn't just about one person having a string of bad luck. The core idea here is that the whole equation, the entire promise of saving, it's broken. You know, for generations, the deal was pretty simple, right? Sacrifice a little now, have security later. But the reality today, it feels completely different. It's less about building a foundation and more like you're just furiously treading water, trying not to sink. And this isn't just a feeling. The numbers actually back this up. Get this. According to the Federal Reserve, the median American household gets slammed with a big, unexpected expense 2.7 times a year, almost 3 times. So an emergency isn't really an emergency anymore, is it? It's just a regular part of life.
And that leads to this quote, which just hits the nail on the head. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. I mean, that's exactly what it feels like, right? You keep pouring your effort, your money, into savings, but these things keep happening, just draining it all away. All right, let's look at the actual numbers, because this is where it gets, well, the source calls it hostile math. And that's a perfect name for it, because it really feels like the system itself is actively working against you when you try to save. Okay, first, look at this. Between 2019 and 2025, median income went up about 16%. Not bad. But, and this is the huge but, the cost of just living, your basic expenses, shot up by 40%. So what does that mean? It means the actual cash you have left over to even think about saving, that got slashed by almost 40%. You're making more, but you're falling further behind. And it gets even trickier. There's this thing called emergency inflation. Basically, it means the very things that tend to go wrong, your car, your health, your house, the costs for those specific things are going up way faster than everything else. So when you get hit so much harder. Take a look at your car. That unexpected repair that used to cost around $900, now it's closer to $1,400. That's a massive jump. Or what about a medical issue? A trip to the ER, the average out-of-pocket cost went from $1,400 to $2,200. That's an extra $800 you have to find just like that. And it's the same deal with your house. That surprise repair that was $2,000 a few years ago, now you're looking at over $3,200. These aren't small increases, they're huge. So you see what's happening? It's like this perfect storm, a triple whammy. You have less money to save in the first place, you're getting hit with emergencies more often, and each one of those emergencies is way, way more expensive. The math is just brutal. And look, this isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. This hostile math has a real human cost. It's fundamentally changing how people, especially an entire generation, are forced to think about their lives and their future. So what happens when people can't save? Well, a few big things. First, you start living for today, because why bother planning for a future that feels so out of reach? Your willingness to take risks, like starting a business or changing careers, that just collapses. You can't do it without a safety net. Retirement? That starts to feel like a complete fantasy for most people. And of course, the constant grinding stress of it all. It just wrecks your mental health.
So this all leads to the big question, right? If you're doing everything you're supposed to do and you're still not getting ahead, is the problem you or is the problem the advice you've been given?
And that woman from the beginning of our story, the one in Denver, she put it perfectly. She said, I was doing everything right and I'm still broke. So maybe doing everything right is the wrong strategy. Wow. I mean, that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it?
And this really sets up the two competing ideas. The old advice always said it's a personal problem. You just need to budget better, cut the lattes. But the new thinking, the systemic reality, says no, it's a structural problem. The basic costs of a secure life are just rising way faster than your paycheck. And here's the bottom line. All that personal finance advice, it's kind of powerless against these massive economic forces. I mean, you can't budget your way out of a transmission that costs thousands of dollars you don't have. There's no coupon for a rent hike that prices you out of your neighborhood.
And that leaves us right here with this really big, really uncomfortable question. How are you supposed to save your way out of a broken economy? If the game itself is the problem, how do you win? And right now, nobody seems to have a good answer.